This is the last video for portraits, and in this video I'm just going to talk about saving and also what you need to turn in. This has to be completed by Friday before break, so make sure that you get all of this done. There is no written critique, it's just the photographic files you're turning in. Okay, so the required edits to review, you must do either clone stamping, find that one, or spot healing and healing brush. Okay, one of those three. You can do more than one, but you have to do one of the three. You also have to do frequency separation, okay, and that's the action in the other video. They could be on the same image, you could just do all of this on one, or you can do them on different images, okay? So you might have one file like this file. I did the retouching in Lightroom. I'm not doing any of that on this, and I'm just going to turn in the JPEG of this file, okay, which I've already exported, so I'll go ahead and close that one. For the ones where you did do the edits, you're going to need to make sure you do File Save As, and you need to make sure you've already saved it as a Photoshop with your layers in a folder called Portrait Photoshop Edited. Okay, I have, but to show you again, replace that one. Do that for this one as well. Now, if there is a layer I didn't use, like I didn't use this frequency separation, I'm going to delete it. I'm not going to just leave it there. Okay, so I'm going to do File Save As. Same thing, Photoshop Layers Save. Okay, you also need to save the photos as JPEGs. So go File Save As, same location, all of that, and you're going to do Format JPEG. Click Save. 10 baseline standard for your image options, click OK. Same thing for this, File Save As, and we're going to change the format to JPEG, click Save, make sure it's 10 baseline standard. Okay, so everything's saved. Now I'm going to minimize this just in case there were any problems. Okay, so first we're going to go to our computer's hard drive, just pretend that wasn't open. Go ahead and open it, and then you're going to go to your period folder, and you're going to find the portrait folder that you downloaded all your files to, and then you're going to find your Photoshop edited folder. So there should be in that folder all of the JPEG files you want me to grade 2 to 4, and then the Photoshops that you completed those required edits on. In this folder you can see I'm missing the one that I didn't do my Photoshop edits to. So what I need to do is go to my Lightroom edited folder, find that file, and then I'm going to copy it into the Photoshop. If I am comfortable just dragging and dropping it, I can do that, but it is going to move. If I want it in both locations, what I can do is highlight it. Okay, it's this one, and I can do Edit, Copy, copying that file, or Command C, and then go to my Portrait Photoshop Edited and do Edit, Paste. Okay, so you should have, again, all the JPEGs that I'm grading and the Photoshop that show the required edits. It might be one, and it could be up to 4 files. One last thing before I remind you how to turn this in. If you think that your edits prior to the retouching were more successful, okay, like let's say that on this particular file, I'll double click it to open, you don't think the retouching made it look better, then you can choose to not turn in this file. Okay, I can delete it, or I can move it to another folder. Just move it out just so I don't delete it. And then I can go back to my Lightroom edited and find that JPEG. It's this one, and turn that one in instead. And again, I can do Edit, Copy, and then go to my Photoshop folder and Edit, Paste. Okay, so the JPEGs, and you can double check by opening them, those should look exactly like you want them to look for print and for grading, okay? One thing I'll tell you about these files, you can see this one looks much harsher than these two. So in general, I would have turned in the retouched one, but just to show you guys the process. You want them to be consistent. Okay, and then the Photoshop should have your layers. Okay, so once you have that folder all set, called Portrait Photoshop Edited, you're gonna go to your hard drive again. You're going to go to your period to grade folder. You're going to find your name. And then you're going to bring this whole folder in with the Photoshop and the JPEGs into your folder with your name. Okay. One last thing, very important, because we are not doing a written critique, we're doing a verbal one. Go to print on Xsan XSBR, and you're going to bring over just the JPEGs. And those can be the ones where you did the retouching or the originals from Lightroom, but just the JPEGs, not the Photoshops, all of them. So normally I let you choose which ones to print because we're doing a verbal critique, all the ones you edited. So it could be 2 files if it's a series of 2, might be 3, it might be 4. In my case, I have 3 edited JPEGs, only 2 of them I did Photoshop on, that's fine, that part doesn't matter. And I'm gonna put that in print. Okay, so again, by the end of class Friday before break, make sure that is done. Otherwise, you will not be able to participate in the critique and you will not have your project graded. You also need to physically turn in the signed grade sheet that has your name, portrait checked off with either an academic tutor, or someone else helping you choose the photos to edit. Okay, and that's it.